Peace be with you. Dear friends, welcome to today's Gospel Reflections. The text we have is from Matthew chapter 12, verses 14 to 21. Here we find the envious and jealous Pharisees who want to eliminate Jesus. They were so frustrated at the growing fame of Jesus and the popular appeal he had for preaching and teaching. They decided that Jesus must be put to death. This was a real danger to his life as well as to his ministry. Of course, Jesus was not afraid of them. Perhaps he was afraid that they may continue to ill treat and humiliate his disciples and followers. What we notice here in this gospel that Jesus, withdrawing himself to a remote, secluded place, continued his ministry of healing as many people continued to follow him. His humble request to people not to make him known was a clear sign that he did not want to annoy Pharisees. Jesus' mission was not complete. He had to travel and continue to preach, but the plot against him was a real danger on the way. What made Jesus so enthusiastic in his mission is because he was fulfilling the prophecy of Isaiah found in chapter 42. This passage we read during the Advent season. Jesus is the one who has been chosen by God as his servant. He is God's beloved in whom God delights. God's Spirit is upon him, and he must proclaim justice, liberty to all those who are captives. Jesus, with all humility, will proclaim the eternal message of the Father with firmness and courage. He will not cry out, nor will anyone hear his voice in the streets. He will not harm anyone, but he will heal. He will not break a bruised reed. A bruised reed is an emblem of the poor and oppressed. It means that he would not oppress the feeble and poor as victorious warriors and conquerors did. It is also an expressive emblem of the soul broken and contrite on account of sin, weeping and mourning for transgression. He will not break a soul, that is, he will not be haughty, unforgiving, and cruel. He will heal it, pardon it, and give it strength. Here we find a clear evidence of Jesus' generosity in helping us to carry our daily crosses. Often we feel weak, abandoned, strained, and even at times discouraged. To us here, Jesus gives us a word of encouragement. He did not come to punish us, rather, he came to help us in every way possible. This text from Isaiah is a great message of hope and love. He came for a number of reasons, but essentially, he comes to give us hope in a world that is bruised by injustice and pain. He comes to heal, not to break the bruised reed. He comes to restore our life when we are hurt and crushed by life's experiences, discouraged to the point of giving up, and depressed to the maximum. He comes to encourage us when we are weak and our motivation for life, that is, a flickering candle. What do we learn from Jesus today? Well, as Christians, we are not only invited to have a deep personal relationship with Christ, but are invited to share in his mission. What is his mission? His mission is of mercy and kindness, the mission of love and forgiveness. His mission is of care, concern, and generosity. In place of a throne, he would mount the cross and wear a crown of thorns. There is no greater proof of God's love for us than Jesus' life itself. Jesus died not only for Jews but Gentiles as well. For the Christians, this means learning to live in prayer. Jesus withdrew from time to time for personal prayer. Prayer is about an ongoing encounter with the Lord which changes us. It is about living in Him and welcoming Him in our lives. Prayer helps us to see ourselves clearly and to recognize our own need for repentance. Prayer draws us into an experience of transforming grace. It is an experience of going out of ourselves to help others who are in need. The Catechism of the Catholic Church says, the more one does what is good, the freer one becomes. There is no true freedom except in the service of what is good and just. The choice to disobey and do evil is an abuse of freedom and leads to slavery of sin. Let us ask the Lord for the grace to continue to live in the Spirit of Christ in our daily lives. We need the spiritual support to do good and work for peace and liberation. God bless you.